After centuries of tradition, there's a new game in town.
Oh! There you go. Oh, gosh, he got a monster. Oh.
American Crappie Trail, everybody.
Oh, we got another one. We got another one.
The American Crappie Trail is changing the face of tournament crappie fishing.
That is what we're out here looking for right there.
It's the second stop on the inaugural season of the American Crappie Trail.
Stay tuned because we're going to catch some big fish.
Welcome to Lake D'Arbonne here in Farmerville, Louisiana. We've got a beautiful day, the fish are biting, everything's going to fall into place for this episode of American Crappie Trail. And it's going to be a great tournament. I expect to have a good weigh-in. I expect you're going to have at least 25, 26 pounds to win this tournament. So whatever you do, stay tuned and we'll be right back with some sac-a-lait fishing.
And this is definitely history in the making.
Fine, what a day, what a day. Looking forward to it.
You know, you have 8.5 hours to fish, but every second is important.
The top teams in the country have descended upon Lake D'Arbonne in northern Louisiana. This 15,000-acre reservoir boasts a large population of white crappie in the 2 to 2.5 pound range. There is also black crappie in Lake D'Arbonne, and each team will be allowed to weigh in 7 of their largest crappie that are alive each day.
This lake is absolutely unbelievable as far as numbers of fish. And the size, the size is really good. Anywhere in the country, a fish of that size is awesome. And boy, are they aggressive. Look at this. Can't even see the jig. Gone.
When we go to a tournament body of water, my number one goal in the long run is that there's no fish taken home. It's all a matter of leaving this lake as good as when we arrived.
The American Crappie Trail's commitment to the preservation of crappie is unprecedented. ACT allows only live crappie to be weighed in. Once those fish are brought to the scales, they are then released back into the lake with a live release boat each day, preserving the fishery for generations to come.
The American Crappie Trail is awesome. You know, we've been needing something for a while to kind of take crappie fishing up a notch. And it takes somebody like Matt to just thrust it on people, if you will. You know, here it is, here's how they do it in the bass world, here's why we're doing it. Get on board. It's really been awesome. The weigh-ins are unbelievable. The live feed looks like a television show. The transparency, always something we love, the boat checks, because you always have doubts.
The American Crappie Trail institutes a pre-launch boat check each day. This helps assure live wells and coolers are empty and adds another layer of transparency and credibility to the industry, preserving the sport for years to come.
Get it. It's a brute. That is what we're out here looking for right there. That fish just barely left a spawned out female, but it's a big spawned out female. And I think 7 of these would go a long way in this tournament.
This is our second tournament with ACT. I believe this is, without a shadow of doubt, going to be one of the best circuits we've ever had. I've waited 20-something years for a professional circuit to come out, run on a scale on the class that he's got this one here. We're going to be fishing trees. I'm using a B&M 11-foot BGJP pole. We're fishing hair jigs that I've been tying for over 20 years. What we're doing is we call it running and gunning. We're probably gonna move about 20-something, maybe 30 times today, just hitting key spots that's got fish on them, hoping to catch a good limit.
The team of Kent Watson and Matthew Outlaw finished 5th at Grenada and are hoping to build upon that momentum.
We found these fish. We're out here in the 5-6 foot of water. There's a lot of fish in this area. We've caught a lot of fish in here. I was in here on Monday, caught 20, 30 fish in 2 or 3 hours. We're hoping to hear about 9, 10 o'clock they start biting. It's been that time of day. You know, it's picking up a little bit. We're starting to catch more and more small fish. Hopefully, size starts getting better and better.
ACT allows 4 practice days prior to the start of each tournament. However, to level the playing field, there is a 10-day off-limits period leading up to the start of practice.
This one here's a little bit better, but still not the size we need. You can really see, look at the mud on the bottom of that. They're sucked right down to the bottom right now. We weigh in 7 fish. We usually keep 8 to 10 of them in the boat at a time. You know, if you're catching them real fast, it's tough to stay up on them, but normally we put anything that we think that we're going to weigh in one side of the live well. Stuff just to get a limit, we throw on the other side, and then we start calling them as the day goes on. Matthew gets warmed up here enough, he's going to start singing a little fish catching song for us.
Yeah, fish on, fish on. Little one. Little female, full egg.
Bottom,
Top hook,
on the bottom,
top hook.
on the bottom?
Yeah. Good one?
No. Yeah. Can't tell. Oh, he come off. Couldn't tell he was swimming up, dude. I never got a good hook set in him because I put the net down. He had my pole. He's £1.25 pounds.
Lucas Oil's Synthetic Blend 2-Cycle Outboard Engine Oil will not only produce a level of confidence with each trip to the lake, but also provide trust backed by rigorous testing on the track as well as on the water. Lucas Synthetic Blend 2-Cycle Oil has an extensive additive package that will provide clean burning, smooth running, and maximum performance stability to any outboard on the market today. Lucas Synthetic Blend 2-Cycle Oil will not void your manufacturer's warranty. Protect your investment with Lucas Marine Products.
Lucas Oil, it works.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Clean up your toughest messes super easy, super fast. Only Super Clean is formulated to do the work for you. Just spray it on and watch the grease and grime wash away. Super Clean is the only cleaner degreaser that is scientifically formulated to kick any mess to the curb, so you can move on to more important things. For all of your greasiest, grimiest, toughest tasks around the house, shop, or garage, Super Clean gets the job done. Super Clean, super easy, super fast.
B&M Poles, the #1 crappie pole company in the world. Whether you're jigging, trolling, pulling, or pushing, B&M has your pole. 3rd-generation family company with over 70 years experience. Home to the Bucks Graphite Jig Poles, the first and best-selling graphite jig pole in the U.S. for over 35 years. B&M Poles, official pole of the American Crappie Trail. The American Crappie Trail is brought to you by Lucas Oil Marine Products. Made in America, sold to the world. By Ranger Boats, driven to dominate. Super clean, super easy, super fast, super clean. By General Tire, anywhere is possible. And by these other proud sponsors.
I mean, there's just not much that rivals it. It's just an amazing fishery.
There's you a darbone crappie.
That's a beautiful, beautiful fish, beautiful fish.
In crappie fishing, tenths and hundreds come into play.
Lake Darbone, Farmerville, Louisiana. Probably the most unique lake we're gonna fish all year.
I would totally agree. You know, we've got defined channels. Channels are marked very well here by the state. If you get outside those channels, you will rip a lower
You're
unit.
gonna hit something, man.
Yeah. And that's why this lake is so prolific.
Yeah.
I mean, as a resource here in north central Louisiana, Lake Darbone right now is fishing like 2 lakes, Sam. On the north end of the lake, they're completely spawned out. On the south end of the lake, or middle to south end of the lake, down toward the dam,
the water temperatures are a little cooler, and it's fishing like two lakes. I project someone to win this event, someone who's fishing mid-lake and down.
Mid-lake and down, fishing for the fish that have not spawned yet.
Yeah.
And it's going to continue to, with this amount of sunlight and no wind, it's going to continue to warm and warm and warm. So we're going to have a different day even tomorrow.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's the beautiful thing about D'Arbonne. You can one pole, you can spider rig, jigs, or minnows out the front of the boat. You can pull crankbaits. This is an absolute unbelievable fishery that allows you to adapt to any style of fishing that you choose to put those fish in the boat.
Well, Matt, let's go back out on the water and see what else we can find out. You know, I think it's going to be an exciting tournament.
Absolutely. Weights are going to be good. Morale's good. They've been catching a ton of fish. Let's get to it.
It's been a pretty good morning. We've got three what I'd call tournament fish. We've got our 7 fish, but we're trying to pick up a couple more of the bigger fish. We've got a couple nice ones in there, probably 1.5 pounds to 1.75 pounds. So we've had a pretty good bite this morning. These fish seem to be just hanging out in this little pocket right here. On the map, I found a little pond, and we're staying inside of this little pond. And these fish are sitting right on the bottom. The female fish that we're targeting, they're just sitting on the bottom, and we're just easing around. We just keep circling around this area and picking a few up here and there. But we had a really good bite at first on Rockport Rattler jigs. And we've got a double minnow rig out on each of them just in case the fish decide to change up today off of jigs. We want to know it, so we try to keep one out, even though we're getting better bites on the jig bite. This one's a good one. This fish here is not spawned all the way. You still see it has some eggs in it. Here you go. And that's what we're after, but we're after her mama.
We expect to cull through 50 or 60 fish today, maybe more. 165, 167. 167, that's closer. We're gonna have fish right here. Grace is on alert, she knows. Coming up on a hot spot.
The Missouri team of Gowan and Root are spider rigging, targeting submerged stumps in 10 to 12 feet of water.
Oh, 1-1, 1-2 maybe. That's the last one of these that's going in the box. The bigger fish are coming on a straight chartreuse. We're using a big plastic with a big minnow. We're using some old chute banks and some crappie magnet. This seems to be what's catching the bigger fish, but I mean, we've got 2 pretty solid, possibly tournament fish, and a whole lot more stumps to go.
We're after Bertha. It's a fish out here named Bertha. She weighs 2.5 pounds, and we're after her. She's been seen. Damn. Good one. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. There's a hit there with all I got. Something here. Little fish. Way to school the babies. Good fish. This ain't tournament fish.
Tom Hankins, winner of the first tournament at Lake Grenada, is fishing alone this week. ACT allows for one angler to represent a team and still accrue points. Tom's partner Ron Bilbrey is expected to join him tomorrow.
I've got double minnow rigs out, and then I've got a jig minnow combination, and with the Lake Fork baby shad. I've caught multiple fish on that today. Hoping for a big kicker. I put a jig on the bottom. A lot of times if you got 2 jigs on, that top jig doesn't get hit a lot of times. But if you got a live bait up there, I tend to catch more fish on the top end. But my favorite bait, Lake Fork baby shad. This is a color that Miss Ian Parker special made for me and my partner. It's copper green, and We catch fish on it everywhere we go.
One challenge crappie teams face is where to get their minnows during a tournament. Keeping minnows lively, coupled with the right color jig, is the key to catching big crappie.
We usually bring about 6 to 7 pounds with us. We usually use 90% of them. We don't ever want to run out. It's sometimes hard to find them, the size that we prefer. So we always try to bring the minnows with us from Arkansas.
There he is.
I got it. We've got a couple different colors on. We're just keeping them changed out and just making sure that the sun today's not changing what they're wanting.
Martin Metal, the specialists for your post frame or stud frame structure. Whether your project is agricultural or residential, we are the one-stop shop for your building needs, with the goal to always provide quality products at competitive prices. With great service, Martin Metal is more than metal. We have our own truss plant for your truss needs. Our lumber yard has the highest grade of lumber available in the area, and our window and door options are as diverse as the buildings we supply for. Martin Metal, where our motto has always been, working hard for your success.
We put the Rockport Rattler to a real test. 2 champion anglers using 4 rods with the competition jigs against 4 rods using the Rockport Rattler. The result, the Rockport Rattler outfished the competition 10-1.
Rockport Rattler, great head.
This patented rattling jig contains a rattling chamber in the body of the jig. The rattle is amplified by using water as a conductor,
Rockport Rattler,
making fish hear it at much greater distances, just like a dinner bell for fish.
If you don't have a Rockport Rattler, you ain't catching crappie.
Land, water, seed, and sunshine. It's what farmers need to make things grow. At Mid-State Seed, we take pride in our partners and grow friendships too, providing quality seed farmers can count on. From quality control to packaging and shipping, Mid-State Seed works hard to distribute affordable product from America's heartland. Mid-State Seed, firmly planted in partnership. B&M Poles, the #1 crappie pole company in the world. Whether you're jigging, trolling, pulling, or pushing, B&M has your pole. 3rd-generation family company with over 70 years experience. Home to the Bucks Graphite Jig Poles, the first and best-selling graphite jig pole in the U.S. for over 35 years. B&M Poles, official pole of the American Crappie Trail.
Welcome back to Lake D'Arbonne here with the American Crappie Trail. Let's get out on the water and see how some of these teams are doing and how they're catching their fish.
The wind's it slowed it down for us. Right at first there wasn't any wind, and it picked up. It looked like it was probably about a 10-mile-an-hour wind, 8 to 10 there for a while. Now it's getting back down to 5 or less. That sun gets up, it's going to push these fish a little bit deeper into these brush piles that are out through this little pond that I was talking about. These fish will stack up in these piles, and we'll just troll around and keep pushing into them, and we'll be hung up a lot today. We lose a lot of jigs, but it's worth it to catch those bigger fish. That's what we're looking for right there. Better fish there.
Ronnie Capps and Steve Coleman, 3rd in the B&M Angler Team of the Year race after Grenada, have struggled today to find the big fish they're searching for.
We're getting on out here in a little bit deeper water. We started about 1.9 foot and went down to about 2.8 in our first little spot there. This is the very tail end of the spawn, and all these females are pretty much done. We're just looking for some that are on their way back out, basically migrating their way back out of these creeks to basically find a comfort zone for the summer. There's a little bite right there. Yo! Not the right, yeah. There's plenty of catfish on these logs too. And these big structure we're fishing is it's basically horizontal, not vertical. We're doing a lot better fishing horizontal structure. So you see that cypress log laying right there on the bottom. What I'm doing is pulling right up to it and basically setting still for a second. Usually that log would accumulate a few fish on the way back out. There's so much of it, it's a problem. You just never know where you're gonna get a good bite.
The team of Dana Mueller and Steele are meticulously spider rigging a shallow flat in hopes of a bigger tournament fish.
There we go. I've been setting them all day because it's tournament day, and then the one day I don't set it. One time I don't set it, fish. It's a twin.
Honestly, it's been wonderful. You know, we caught a few fish. I wish it could have been a little better on the first stop we made. We got super shallow in a little dish pan area that had some monster females in it on Monday, and they was the ones we needed to win this thing. Really, we're not too far from where we like to be about now. When we go in, we'll probably have 7. I hope that we like a lot. Do it, baby, do it. Nope. That's a good big old male though. Yeah, it don't matter. Get him. Oh, it's a black one. Oh, that thing will flash. Finally found a long pouch got one. You got a female. I thought it was a male. I seen him turn sideways. I might ought to throw him in the box. I don't know what we got back there, honestly, on the low end. Here, put him in the net. Drop him in the net. Yeah. Oh, just a bite right there. There's another one. Hope it's good. Oh, you got a bite. Left post. You bump it.
B&M Poles, the #1 crappie pole company in the world. Whether you're jigging, trolling, pulling, or pushing, B&M has your pole. Third-generation family company with over 70 years experience. Home to the Bucks Graphite Jig Poles, the first and best-selling graphite jig pole in the U.S. for over 35 years. B&M Poles, official pole of the American Crappie Trail.
Lucas Oil's synthetic blend 2-cycle outboard engine oil will not only produce a level of confidence with each trip to the lake, but also provide trust backed by rigorous testing on the track as well as on the water. Lucas Synthetic Blend 2-cycle oil has an extensive additive package that will provide clean burning, smooth running, and maximum performance stability to any outboard on the market today. Lucas Synthetic Blend 2-cycle oil will not void your manufacturer's warranty. Protect your investment with Lucas Marine Products.
Lucas Oil, it works.
Launching a Ranger aluminum boat that's cut full of holes may sound a little crazy, but with so much closed-sail foam inside, it's easy to see the added safety and stability. It's a huge confidence booster, especially with so much quality inside, along with ever-new D-Tech's unrivaled performance and 300 hours with no dealer scheduled maintenance. Ranger aluminum is built to excel and priced to be yours.
Power your Ranger with Evinrude E-Tech.
The outboards that are changing everything. Easy to own and fun to drive. The Evinrude E-Tech G2, now from 150 to 300 horsepower.
And it was just so easy to drive, not having to worry about the trim. I could just gas it and go, and that's where I fell in love with the engine.
I could drive my boat literally with one finger.
In terms of just convenience, easy for me, the G2 is perfect.
I wanted something my wife could drive with ease.
I love my G2.
For details, visit evinrude.com.
For over 30 years, Lucas Oil has provided the very best products for the land and sea. From this success stems another amazing product from the Lucas Marine lineup, Lucas Slick Mist Marine Speed Wax. Just spray it on and wipe it off. Lucas Marine Speed Wax will make your boat look brand new and provide great UV protection. Apply Lucas Marine Slick Mist to wet and dry surfaces in sunlight or shade. It's ideal in both fresh and saltwater application and prevents hard water deposits. Protect your investment with Lucas Marine Products.
Lucas Oil, it works.
The American Crappie Trail is brought to you by B&M Fishing, quality performance and service for over 70 years. By Mid-State Seed, firmly planted in partnership. Martin Metal, your source for quality buildings, roofing, and lumber. By Evinrude, official engine of the American Crappie Trail. And by these other proud sponsors. Day one of the American Crappie Trail on Lake D'Arbonne in Louisiana.
Too many good places to fish here on this lake. I just got to keep running.
The afternoon is waning as weigh-in quickly approaches.
Let's go see if we can get that money.
This is Lake D'Arbonne, Louisiana.
There's a good one. Coming in. Oh, there we go. That's why you can never turn your back on the fishing poles. Oh, she was barely hooked. That's a decent fish. I still need them bigger than that though. That's probably only a 1.25 pound fish. I need them 1.5 pound plus fish that I was finding during pre-fish.
Day one wraps up as the teams bring their fish to the scales.
Hopefully I got enough good ones to keep me in there for tomorrow. Because we're going to be there. It ain't bad.
Is there 7 in there?
There's 7 in there.
Let's see what we got. I think you're in a solid 3rd place right now. 1073.
As teams cross the scales, the leading weight climbed.
Puts you right in the middle of the pickle jar, don't it? 1152. That's solid day one. 1161. That's a good first day start. But let's see. Boat number 20, Palmer Frost and Keegan Frost. Look at this. 1207. You're right up in there in the top 10. Did you fish by yourself today?
Yes, I did.
Got some happy fish there. 1249 gets you right there in the top 5. Watch out here, folks. We got a sack here. 1251 puts you right there in 2nd place. That's a solid string today. How was it?
It was good. We caught fish all day. Just stayed after it.
Then the team of Wes Barmore and Mark Theodos brought their bag to the scales.
1258, that puts you right up there. You just bumped the last one off. I thought he had him big and he went again.
Barmore and Theodos were leading until Tim Blackley and Jackie Van Cleve brought their 7-fish limit to the scales.
I think you're doing just fine. Check this out. 1315. That's a solid string. That's right. There you go. Now come on back and get on back here.
Blackley and Van Cleve lead the pack on day one by less than a pound, followed by Barmore and Theodos with Edgar and Lepley in 3rd. The top 20 teams are within 2 pounds of the lead, setting up a shootout on the final day of the American Crappie Trail at Lake D'Arbonne, Louisiana.
Don't forget to tune in next time to American Crappie Trail. We're going to be giving away a new Ranger boat, and we're going to be crowning the champions of Lake D'Arbonne here in Louisiana. So whatever you do, don't miss the next episode of American Crappie Trail.